Good morning.
So a lot has happened since I last saw all of you. So you guys all are, you have me working really hard on Senate Bill 5258, which creates the Washington Academic Innovation and Mentoring Program. And I have some really exciting news for you. The bill passed out of the Senate.
Yay! Now can we have a donut? Later.
Did you guys get a chance to watch already the bill pass out of the Senate, or should we spend just a couple minutes watching that?
Oh, we should watch it.
Okay, let's spend a couple minutes watching that. Is that easy to? Yeah. It's in the email that I sent the link to.
Oh, okay.
That'll pull it just to.
Oh. I had to go
This morning. So there, it's right there.
Yeah. Hello. Hello. Apple potato? Yeah, that one.
Okay.
Oh. Wait, why don't we have donuts today? Oh my god. Oh yeah.
So one senator voted against the bill, and all the others supported it.
Yeah, that's Cyrus Habib. Yeah, Cyrus Habib.
58, a substitute is in order, Senator Zeiger.
They're playing it right now.
Oh, yeah.
Tell them I didn't know the connection.
David can play it over the connection, or you guys already started it.
Started.
I've already started it.
Senator Fain, is that second substitute? Second substitute, right? Senator Fain has moved that second substitute Senate Bill 5258 be substitute for Senate Bill 5258, and the second substitute Senate Bill 5258 take effect. No objections. So ordered. Second substitute Senate Bill 5258, Secretary will read.
Activating the creating of Washington Academic Innovation and Mentoring. Act is null and void.
Senator Zeiger. Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the rules be suspended. The second substitute Senate Bill 5258 be advanced to third reading. The second reading considered third, and the bill placed on final passage. Senator Zeiger has moved the rules be suspended. The second substitute Senate Bill 5258 be advanced to third reading. The second reading considered third, and the bill be placed on final passage. So on third reading, final passage. Marks. Thank you, Mr. President. This is a bill that follows some money that was placed in the budget a couple of years ago that benefited community programs for summer learning and after-school learning, and the results of those programs have been phenomenal.
Oh, he's at the bottom of our list.
Helping kids stay in school and helping to improve learning outcomes. And this is to make that program permanent, and with the hope that we could get some funding for it as well, ongoing funding. But we've got some great organizations in our communities that are doing this work, Boys and Girls Clubs, YMCA, and others. And so I strongly encourage your vote. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the remarks. There's no further remarks. Question for the Senate is final passage of second substitute Senate Bill 5258. Secretary will call the roll.
Angel. Haley. Baumgartner. Becker. Illig. Ron. Brown.
So in the Senate, they call out everyone's name to ask them to vote. In the House, everyone votes at the same time by hitting a button.
Cleveland.
So what they're doing is calling out each senator's name and asking for their vote.
O'Neill.
Wait, you can watch this on TV.
Erickson. Payne. Fortunato. Brock. Osagawa. Hawkins. Hobbs. Langford.
Hawkins.
Hunt. Heiser. King. Whitaker. Bias. Hoy. Losha. Losha. Mullen. Nelson. O'Ban. Patton. Lumbo. Pearson. Peterson. Ranker. Raker, Rivers, Rolfus, Rossi, Saldana, Kessler,
No, those are representatives.
Sheldon,
How many names are there?
Short. Yakko,
He's not looking at a piece of paper.
Vandeweghe,
So that's a question that you want to ask Brianna.
Porter,
Okay, I'll ask.
Wellman,
Wellman.
Wellman, Wilson, Zeiger, Kaiser Malosha, Senator Darnell, Mr. President, there are 46 yea, 1 nay, 2 excused.
Having received the Constitution majority, second substitute Senate Bill 258 declared passed, and the bill be passed.
Okay,
He's the.
congratulations, the bill passed.
We'll read.
Yay. How many people were there voting?
49.
Oh my god. So 48. Did this dude memorize all their names? Yeah.
No, they're
Paper. Oh. You're a
They have a list that they read.
Oh.
Okay, so so there are a couple things that I wanted to go over with you though. So you guys will remember at our last session that we had talked about how the bill had only applied to boys and girls clubs. And we wanted to support an amendment to the bill that expanded it to apply to all different types of nonprofits. And you heard Senator Zeiger on the floor say that it applied to YMCA. Well, that is because they did indeed take your idea and amend the bill to have it apply more broadly so that it can be any nonprofit that can receive the funding. There were a couple of other changes that the legislature made to the bill. They directed the Office of the Superintendent of Public Instruction, which is a statewide office, to submit a report on whether or not the programs and the funding are working. So anytime that funding is allocated for these after school or summer programs, they're going to look at who participated in the program, what types of kids, what income levels did they have, and other factors, and how did they improve? What were their skills coming in at the beginning of summer, and what were their skills leaving at the end of summer? So that reporting requirement was added into the bill, that they really need to report and say, this is how we spent the money and what we did. The third thing that they did to the bill and through an amendment is they said that if there's no money appropriated to the program in the budget, that the entire bill is null and void and canceled. It's like it never passed at all. So the Senate made those three changes, and then you just saw that the Senate passed it. So this is very, very good. Are there any questions about the amendments? Or do people have concerns about, they took the one amendment that we suggested to them, but any concerns about the reporting or saying that the entire bill is canceled if there's no money that comes with it? What do you guys think?
So kids, you remember they're having problems now. I think Matthew brought up, or Ian, about they can't fund schools as it is. So aren't you a little worried that if they can't fully fund schools, is it gonna die because they can't? If they can't fund this, then it's everything that you've worked for is dead.
Maybe. Yeah, it's kind of sad because that happens. Kind of.
Do you want to speak up so Brianna can hear you too?
So,
When you talk, what we did last year is we had a stool right here, and if you like to say something, just sit on the stool so you're closer to the mic.
So I had a question. Like, let's just say the bill dies because we don't get funding. Can we like change? Can we like adjust any? Can we adjust the bill so that they can get funding? The schools can get funded.
Yeah, so I think that when it comes to the funding of the program, there are a couple of things to think about. I think you guys have all heard that the state needs to fully fund public schools and education for K through 12. So one of the concerns with this clause being added in is that the budget will go to fully fund the K through 12 education, and there won't be enough money for this program. And if there's not enough money for this program, then they won't be able to do the after school programs or the summer programs. Instead, the money is going to be going toward fully funding the normal classroom time.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
So it's very good that the bill passed out of the Senate with so many yes votes and only one no vote. That is very encouraging. Now the bill is going to go over to the House, and it has to go through the same process. So in the House, we have to get the bill scheduled for a hearing. We have to have a hearing on the bill where people will testify. The committee has to vote on the bill, and then it has to be voted on by the entire House. So we have a lot of process to go. We are only halfway through the process. There's a lot more that we have to do yet. Right now, the bill has been referred to the House Education Committee. And what I need you all to do is email the members of the House Education Committee and please ask them to schedule the bill for a hearing. Because if they don't even schedule the bill for a hearing, then it will not advance and the bill's going to die. So we've made a really good progress, but I need your guys' help to email the House Education Committee members. And I forwarded the email addresses for the Education Committee members onto your teacher this morning. So you guys have them?
Yep.
Okay. So what I want to do is hear from you and help you guys figure out what you're going to put in your email to the committee members. And some of you wrote some really good emails to our legislators, Representative Sen and Representative Clibbard. You want to raise your hand if you wrote an email? I know I saw a few of them. Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much for writing those emails. So I'm going to need all of you to write emails to the Education Committee. So maybe one of you that has already written an email, do you want to share with the class what you wrote and what you might write to the Education Committee members? I see a hand there. Do you want to come up to the stool so I can hear?
I think for this letter, what we should do is maybe write Dear Committee or whatever their name is, and then you'll say, we want to enforce Bill 5258. Can you please create a screening and hearing for this?
That is excellent. Yeah, I think we want to ask them to schedule the bill for a public hearing. So that is, and you want to tell them why, that it's a good bill, that you think after school and summer programs are really important.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I see another hand.
I disagree because I think we should do something more formal instead of dear. Because dear sounds a bit more casual and less informative.
So how would you address it?
I don't know, just go straight to their names and then put, we would like to inform you that we would like to reinforce like the AMI bill because of the help it would do for all the communities, and you would list your reasoning, you put a rebuttal, you put more reasoning, and then you end it.
Good job.
I think we shouldn't really address it to them. I think we should state our claim first, and then maybe at the end we could say thank you.
Okay, I think all of these are really good ideas. Something to really keep in mind when you're emailing legislators is you always have to be really, really respectful and appreciative. They're very, very busy. So you really want to say, Thank you for reading my email, and we really ask you to please use your please and thank yous in the email. It's very important when emailing legislators. You see another hand?
Also, you can state your claim too, and you could also you need evidence, because if you don't have the evidence, he won't the education dude, he won't really look at it because he has no evidence, and he really needs the evidence for a fact. Because and also we could we should say like, instead of saying like, we could say thank you for giving us this opportunity, something like that. That would work better.
I think that's a really good idea. One of the things that you guys might want to talk a little bit about is why are summer programs and after school programs so important? We talked a little bit about that earlier this year, but you'll remember that part of the testimony that was given on the bill was that during summer, students fall really far behind if they're not continuing to learn. And that low-income students in particular tend to fall much further behind than other students that are able to afford summer camps and summer activities. I see another hand there. Do you want to come up to the stool?
Actually, I have a question, because I don't think we should write like a bunch of emails ourselves, because then that would be just click the same thing, click, and then all the emails would be the same thing. So I think we should shouldn't we write all one email?
Yeah.
Well, I think that you guys can do it either way. Sometimes when legislators receive a lot of emails asking them to do something, then they know, oh, geez, all of these kids care about this. There are more than just one. All of them really want me to schedule this bill for the hearing. So that can be really convincing. So the more people that email, the more they're likely to listen. But I like your idea too of coordinating and maybe doing, if it works with your teacher, to coordinate and do one, and everyone can provide feedback into it, so you make sure that you're all saying the same thing and you're all not creating a confusion, right? That you're on message and not saying something different in each separate email.
Maybe we could just do thank you Civics Club, because then they would know that it was a group that did it or something.
We could do that. What does your teacher think?
I think that's fine. It's fine with me.
How many of you want to write your own email though? So maybe we can do both. If we do one group email, and then if people want to write their own separate emails, that would be good too.
I think actually it would give the kids a lot more experience if they did it on their own. I want them to feel that they do have a voice, and writing their own email would help reinforce that.
And you can pick to just write the email to one of the legislators, or you can write an email to all the legislators on the list I gave you. If you're going to write it to just one though, write it to the first person on the list, which is the chair.
Andy Billing.
Andy Billig.
Andy Billig. That's the chair.
No, it should not. That's not right.
Do you think that maybe we could all pick one that we want to write to? So even if we do write the same kind of message, we can write it to different people, so that we're not all writing it to one person.
Well, so the person that's going to make the decision really is the chair. So I think you guys should just send it all. And it sounds like maybe you have the wrong email list. That might be my fault.
Who's the chair?
Why don't David's going to pull up the list of legislators that you should email on the screen, so we can see whether it's what you have.
Oh no.
No, she's trying to pull them. Nope.
No, we have a different list.
Okay, so what I think then what you guys should do is email Representative Sharon Tomiko Santos, the first one on that list. And if you guys each individually email to her, I think that would be great.
It doesn't show her email on there.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
Where?
Right next to it.
Oh, I see it. Okay, got it. Okay, we have that on our list.
Where's the Santos?
Yeah.
Circle it, kids.
Yeah, I'm just using a yellow marker to highlight.
Yeah,
Santos.
right there.
You just like.
Where's the email?
It's right. It's all right here.
I don't have the list.
Here.
I think they
Does everybody have that?
Did you guys find the email to Representative Sharon Tomiko Santos?
Yeah.
Okay, and then David, can you share them the picture of what Representative Santos looks like, just so that they know?
Oh,
Okay. David Sony.
So she represents downtown Seattle, and she chairs the House Education Committee. She's going to decide whether to give the bill a public hearing or not.
just hope it does.
But there's several chairs, like Representative Joe.
You want to sit on the stool and ask her
Yeah,
that?
I didn't hear that.
Oh,
Just
wait,
come
no,
up and sit on the
I
stool.
got it. This is Vice Chair.
Okay.
That's all right.
He was confused. He saw several representatives with the title chair, but then he noticed they were vice chair.
Yeah, they're vice chairs. Okay, so you guys are going to email Representative Santos, who's chair of the committee, and you have her email, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. And are there other questions about what your emails are going to say?
I have a question about something else, but
Okay.
So I think we can. So one Wednesday we can all send one email to the chair, and then after that, everybody else can send individual emails to the chair, because then it seems like it benefits the people who don't want to write it, but at the same time it helps the people who do want to write it.
I think that's good. I think your teacher really, she explained that it would be helpful for you guys to do your individual emails. So, and I think it would, as I said, the more emails a legislator gets about an issue, the more likely they are to do what all of those emails say. Sort of like if all of a sudden you have lots and lots of your friends encouraging you to do something, you might be more likely to do it.
Well, I think we should maybe for the people who don't want to do it, maybe the people who don't want to do it can group together and coordinate with each other to write an email. But then the people who do want to do it can also write their own emails, so they'll still get
I think that works too. Yeah, but I think people have questions about what they're going to put in their email.
I think we should have like a list, like a paper list, and then like of ways to start an email, and then we could have several emails that are different, so they get the feeling that they should do something that we want.
Yeah, like options.
Okay, well, that's a good idea. We have about 5 minutes. So do we want to spend the next 5 minutes making that list?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Okay.
Should we write it down on one of
Our
our
teacher, in writing, we're learning about opinion writing, and I think it's called a counterclaim, where you
I can't hear because there are other folks talking.
So in opinion writing, a teacher's teaching us about opinion writing, and one thing I think was a counterclaim, where you address something bad about that reason, but then why it's good. So could we put something in our letter that's I know it will cost a lot of money, but it's super helpful.
I think that is an excellent idea. So that's, if we're going to make a list, so you do Representative Santos, right? I'm writing to ask you to schedule Senate Bill 5258 for a hearing. And the bill is important because, and then I want you guys to chime in with some ideas on why it's important. Are there any ideas? Why is this bill important?
Because it helps kids in poverty, and it helps people who really need it, who are really busy, and their parents can't teach them. They need help.
Okay, so it helps people in poverty.
It could also be helpful because some families can't really afford to go to a public school, but not all parents.
Private school.
Private, yeah.
Well, then it's better for people's education because if they don't, because like you said earlier, some people forget things over summer can help them maybe get like better grades.
Okay, so it helps people not forget what they learned over the school year during the summer, and so they can get better grades. I think that's another point. Is someone writing these down so that you guys can remember them?
Let's go.
So what do we have so far, kids?
Poverty.
Poverty.
And grades.
And not forget stuff over summer. Better grades.
Kids are
Summer.
Wait,
Summer slide or?
The summer slide, yeah, to prevent the summer slide.
Prevent the summer slide. That's a good one.
So,
How about the after-school programs? What's the good thing about having after-school programs?
It helps parents. They have to work double shifts and they can't get home, and the kids are wondering, how do I do this homework after school? And the mentors will teach them, oh, you do it like that, so they'll understand it.
Kind of like helping if the parents don't really have time.
So helping kids do their homework if their parents don't have time to help them.
if those kids don't get a good education, then they'll also be in poverty, then go generation to generation.
Couldn't quite hear that, but it said something about generation to generation.
You have to sit on the stool and
So the kids in poverty, when they grow up, they're gonna probably be in poverty because they didn't have an education, and then when they have kids, they're not gonna have an education, and they'll be over and over again.
So the bill is good because it helps kids in poverty get an education so that then they aren't in poverty anymore. Is that what you're saying?
so it breaks us, you're seeing a cycle and you're saying that it breaks the cycle of kids not getting a really good education, so they stay in poverty. Is that what you're saying?
But where do we get the money?
Yeah, that's the whole problem.
Taxes.
That's the one problem about it.
Taxes, but
So I think it's really good to what was suggested earlier that we say we know this really costs money, but it is important. And then do we have any ideas on how they should get the money? I heard taxes. Any other ideas?
Fundraising?
A fundraiser? Okay.
Maybe like money the city gets to like from schools.
we could also, I forgot what you call it, but like you go to like a really one day some people really go to this like fundraiser or something, and we can be there and we can sell some of our stuff, like sell stuff.
You want to sell your stuff at a fundraiser?
No, but at the same time we can ask people, can they donate for fundraising for our bill?
And ask for donations. So this is a lot of money to fund. We would have to do a lot of fundraisers.
Yeah.
But maybe what we could say is that the state needs to find a way of getting the money for this because it's very important. And then they can figure out whether they can do fundraisers or other items, other ideas. And the red pants?
You wanna come on up?
So I think there should be like option that they could use to get the money.
What would they offer?
An option?
Well, the auction.
Okay. Other ideas?
Just come up and take the stool.
I think we should do taxes because theoretically, if this works, and then so if you learn, then you could get a better chance of getting a better job. So therefore, they could get out of poverty and somehow be able to pay their taxes, right? Because if they learn, then they could get better grades. That means get to go to a better college. That means like get better job, better life basically. So they could end up paying the taxes. So theoretically, if this works, then the taxes will be effective.
Okay, so that's a good. So it sounds like okay, last one.
Maybe we can see how much money Bill Gates will donate.
Oh.
Okay, maybe we should put that in our emails. So do you guys have enough information now to write your emails? I really need you to write those emails to Representative Santos and ask for the bill to be scheduled for a hearing. Are you guys all going to do that for me?
Yes, sure, but I don't have an email.
Well, you're gonna CC me as well. Okay. Do you want to be CC'd on it, Brianna?
Sure.
Okay.
What do you mean, CC?
I don't know her email.
I'll give you her email.
So I look forward to seeing all of your emails. I need you guys to do it by next week, the end of next week, okay?
Okay.
Hey, that sounds good. Thank you so much, Brianna.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good day. Bye.
Bye.